All right, let's see. Hello, everybody. I'm just trying to get set up here, make sure everything is working. Hey, Brian. Hey, Scott. And Scott. Hey, David. How you doing? Oh, let's turn that volume down. We need to repeat it. David. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, good. I was originally going to use a setup using a IPEVO like projector camera, but that was not working this morning, so I had to rig up something with my iPhone and an old mic stand from when I was in band. So hopefully everything stays together. Hey, Rosie, love you. All right. We'll wait a couple more minutes and then we'll get started. Is everybody doing okay? Feeling healthy today? Staying safe? All right, let's see. Let me get my stuff together. David, it's happy hour somewhere all the time, right? Okay, let's see. Does everybody have pencil and paper to draw along? No, Stephanie, I'm just getting set up right now, just testing things to make sure everything is working a-okay. We have 4 more minutes, then we'll get started. Knitting's fine, Steph, but you'll have to share what you did today, so we like to see it. You're quite welcome. This is going to be fun. Hopefully everything stays together and my phone doesn't fall off because I have it kind of taped and clipped onto a mic stand, and there might be a cat running across my drawing table and knock everything over, so. Okay, you need to go out of the room. Okay, there we go. We have 4 cats running around this morning, so they picked a fine time to do this. Surface. For me, it's just much easier because I'm 6'5", so if it was flat, I'd be hunched over and look like the Hunchback of Notre Dame. Ooh, all the way from Montreal. That's cool. Thank you. Okay, let's see. It's almost showtime. Are any kids watching this right now? Hey, sis, and Sadie. Well, my timer says it's 10 o'clock. Shall we get started? So thank you so much for taking some time out this morning and join me. I'm just going to kind of show you my process and give you a little bit of exercises, things you can do, and then I'll actually kind of do a drawing in the time frame. I figured we'd only be on this no more than an hour. So let's just dive in. So this is my sketchbook. I started this some time ago and I kind of got back into it. So I thought this would be a good place to start. So I'm just going to kind of flip through here quick. Most of these were done in colored pencil. So I was just trying to see what watercolor would do on the paper. And I think this is a Baron Fig sketchbook. I was looking for the name. So again, just colored pencil drawings. This is kind of my monster idea sketchbook that I started. Again, I started this probably a couple years ago and I just rediscovered it. So recently I started drawing in it again. I kind of like this guy. It's kind of how I feel this morning. So we're going to kind of talk about shapes and working with shapes. That's kind of how I start a drawing. I kind of like this guy too. But let's talk about this one. So any kids watching, you know, if you look at this, it's basically a triangle. So if you can draw a triangle and you can draw a square and you can draw circles, that's pretty much your basis for drawing anything. So again, I'll just kind of flip through here. I kind of like this dopey guy. Oh, this is my Unideer. I thought he was kind of funny. So again, these are just colored pencils on this paper. Sometimes I start a sketch and I don't finish it. I get bored with it. And what's the last one I did? I did this one last night. So just having some fun. And when I do school visits, let me get my piece of tape out of the way here. I was holding the sketchbook into place. So when I do school visits, the kids are always interested in my, I call it my sketch purse. So this is a Etcher sketch purse. I just got this one recently, and it has all my pencils and markers. These are Copic markers that I use quite a bit. I actually pulled some of these out to use today. And if you don't know what a Copic marker is, come on. There we go. Should have done this ahead of time. There we go. They're refillable markers. So when you use it and it runs out of ink, you just kind of pull the cap out, you dump more ink in it, shake it a little bit, and you can reuse it. So you never really throw these away. Of course, when you refill the ink, they do get kind of messy on the outside. Just put those in there. Again, just more tools, markers, pencils, Sharpies. I use a lot of Sharpies. And then Posterman marker. It's a white marker. Gives you your white on a dark surface, which is really nice. If you do get this on your clothes, it will not come out. Ask my wife. I'm always in trouble when I use this marker. Surprised she hasn't made me start doing laundry. So again, this is my sketch purse made by Etcher. All right, let me put this stuff away. Everybody can hear me okay? Good. All right, let's get started. So when I draw along, especially any kids, so if you can draw a circle and you can draw a square, and I'm sure you can draw a rectangle, right? For me, these are the basic shapes when I start drawing. So you can take those shapes, you can combine them. I'm just gonna do some really quick sketches here. Like if we take the circle and we add a square to it, and we add a rectangle to it. When I look at this, I start seeing a really short nubby pencil. So if we that, give it an organic shape, add another triangle here. Start refining, you start seeing a little short pencil, which a lot of my illustrator friends have because for some reason we cannot throw them away. Am I correct on that one, guys? So again, basic shape, circle, square, triangle. That's pretty easy, huh? Anybody want a couple of minutes to draw this one? I don't want to go too, of course they usually draw pretty fast, a lot faster than I do sometimes. The white marker is a Zig Posterman marker. And the only place I've found those, Dick Blick. That's the only place I think that has them. Just add a little more detail here. Let's see a real quick sketch, just using your basic shapes. Add some quick tone. And you start seeing a little pencil. But again, circle, square. If you break this down, you have rectangles. And get some more lead here. Pretty easy, huh? All right, let's do something else. So you can actually start with a circle. Add a triangle. And let's see here, what can we do? All right, we'll add a square like this. And then with a few quick lines, guess what? You start seeing a bird. And another circle. I'm trying to look at if anybody has any questions or comments too, so. And a cat just jumped on all my stuff and knocked it over. Okay, big surprise. So again, you know, I kind of keep everything loose when I start drawing. Just real sketchy. I think about placement on the paper. Also think about, do I really like this character? For some reason I kind of like this bird. But if I was going to spend some time with it, then I start really refining, adding the nostrils. More of the body. Start darkening lines. But you notice I don't erase any of my sketching lines. They kind of disappear the more you draw on top of them. Again, a few simple shapes. You have a bird. Everybody drawing? Everybody following along? Denise is drawing. Hey, Marie. right, let's do another one. All right, so again, you can start with a square and another rectangle. Almost looks like the pencil turned on its side. But let's see what can we turn this into. Well, I kind of like spaceships and stuff, so let's just see where this goes. You just keep adding more shapes on top of shapes. Oops. Here, there we go. And then, you know, add some wings. Another wing up here. Another wing down here. Keep adding a little more details. Again, triangle, square, circle. It's what I started with. And then this is basically another circle, or part of a circle. You kind of have a rectangle going here. You have rectangles here and here. So basic shapes. If you know how to draw those shapes, I believe you can draw just about anything. So let's see where this goes. Everybody following along okay? This making sense? Let's go over here. Kind of have to slide it back and forth. So again, basic shapes. That's all it is. We can turn it like this so everybody can see it. You know, start out with the triangle. Those that just join us, we're just talking about basic shapes today. Triangle, square, circle. And then you have another circle here, and then a bunch of triangles here. Basically a triangle here. All basic shapes. Anybody have any questions? I'll take a break, and then I'm going to get started on an actual drawing. Okay. So when I do these school visits, I always have kids going, "How did you draw that?" I can't draw that. See, I think everybody can draw. I think it's just a matter of practice, but I do think everyone has the ability to draw. So, and I'm running out of lead here, so I'm gonna have to switch pencils in a minute. So I tell kids they can draw, they can do this. You can draw those shapes, you can do this too. And I've been drawing for a very long time, so it's all about putting your time in. All right. Thanks, Jason. I'm glad you agree with me. All right, let's actually do a real drawing. So I have no idea what I'm going to do here. I'm just and give me a second to get another pencil here. Let's see. There we go. How do I know what to draw? A lot of times I just start making marks on a piece of paper and it just turns into something. So where's my sketchbook? Like, I'll go back to this drawing I did the other day or yesterday. So this creature, I just started making scribbles on the piece of paper here in my sketchbook. Draw me a cat. So I just started making scribbles, and then I just started seeing something emerging from these scribbles, and I don't know what this is, and I decided to put a kilt on it, or a skirt, either way, doesn't matter. And I just kept adding scribbles to keep the looseness of it. And I thought, you know, a nice eye, again, a circle. And then we have a triangle, not a triangle, but a rectangle shape here. Large rectangle or triangle, depending on how you look at it. Cats, cats, cats. Everybody loves cats. Okay, let me refill my pencil here, because I use mechanical pencils quite a bit. They're just easier, except when you're doing a Facebook Live event. I should have checked that before. Let's see here. All right. There we go. It's clearly a scarf. Yes, it could be a scarf. All right, so since we talked about basic shapes, let's just see what happens here. So I'm just going to start putting some marks down. Again, I don't draw a lot of detail at first because I'm trying to get my drawing positioned on the paper, and I'm just seeing what it starts emerging. So again, I have a circle, more of a rectangle shape this time, which is just a square that's been stretched out. Let's get our triangle on top here. Okay, see what happens here. A lot of center lines, so it tells me which direction the character is facing. So this is my center line. This is probably going to be a face here. And the center line for the body. Put some lines here for the legs. And let's see, let's do some feet here. Okay, I see what's happening here. So I had no idea what I was going to draw, and then things just started emerging as I'm putting marks on the paper. All right, let's see here. I'm actually starting to see this as some kind of night. All right, let's see here. Maybe it's not, it's a kid who made the night. Oh, I know what this could be. All right. And I do this quite a bit in my sketchbooks too. I just start making marks. Let's make this a traffic cone for the top of the helmet. And this could be a trash can for the shield. And let's see here. They need some armor. So how about some cardboard? And let's see, how about some catcher? Okay. Again, I'm just drawing real loose, no detail. Just seeing if I'm liking what's happening here. Looks like a kid with... And I like Chuck Taylors, so I usually put them on kids. So we'll just put some Chuck Taylors on. What else? Elbow guard. How about a skateboard elbow guard for the arm? All right, see what kind of face starts happening here. Okay. Let's make this a girl night. Why not? So again, triangle, circle, square, circles, circles, rectangles, triangles, part of a circle, rectangle, rectangle, square, or not square, but triangle. Okay. Should we see where this goes? Should I keep drawing on this one? Okay. Let's put a ground on it. And she should be protecting something, so how about we put a box here? And a fort that she made, a little fort. So again, there's some more triangles. There's some rectangles. And maybe this is a toilet paper roll. There we go. And she should be protecting something, so we'll make this a box. How about a frog? How about a frog peeking out? So again, we got circles. I'll have the frog looking up at her. Some interaction here. What do you think? This working okay with everybody? Keep going with it? Okay. Okay, we gotta put some ears on her. And let's see, like crazy hair. As you can tell from the cover of my sketchbook, I really like wonky hair. So, and we'll keep going. All right, gotta put a face in her. So I'm gonna put a center line. I think her eyes should be here, the nose here. And how about her mouth like that? So we see a character starting to emerge. Sometimes for eyes, I just draw dots, and other times I may draw a circle. And okay, not sure if I'm liking the eyes, but we'll keep going. And then I just start refining the shape. Maybe the traffic cone needs to be a little larger. Again, I'm not erasing any of my lines, because what I do is when I'm working my hand, see, my hand kind of glides across the drawing, and it kind of softens it, and I'm always dirty. All right, let's see. All right, so now I'm going to really start getting a little more detail in, a little darker with my lines. Start rounding off. Anybody have any questions? Second to look at the screen. No questions? Okay, we'll keep going. I think a traffic cone has the bar. And what I like to do now as I start refining is like, where's my light source? So we'll have the light source come in from up here. So sometimes you can actually just draw a little arrow so you're reminded where your light source is. Yeah, we'll put some shade on. Shade on here. Give it some depth. Again, I'm just kind of blocking things in still. I'm not worried too much about detail. There we go. And I think her nose is a little big. Let's make that a little smaller. There we go. Everybody having fun? Everybody drawing along? Make her eyes a little smaller. She's seeing that. Maybe she should. There we go. So I'm kind of just going all over the place. I don't really focus on one area too much because I kind of like to develop the drawing as a whole instead of just certain pieces of it. Yeah, Andy, I agree. It's about the design right now, not so much about the drawing, because you can. All right, let's see. Let's get her cardboard armor. Get a crease. And you're probably going to see this side of it. So again, I like putting little details in to make it a little believable. Like, you know, the corrugation in the cardboard. All right, let's go back to our arm here. Okay. Let's give it some life here, add some wrinkles. The smaller ones went much better. Okay. Somebody's magic pencil broke. Oh, Lynn, it happens all the time. We all have that magic pencil. And I'm just going to block in the hands and not worry too much because I may change the size a little bit later. And we're just going to make it look kind of organic, like it was handmade. See, it's always just kind of refining, tweaking things. I'm not liking her face that much, so I'll probably go back to that in a minute. Let's get some more stuff blocked. Shield in, all right, like that. Maybe a little tone for some depth. Okay, probably should put some dents in it. Okay, not too much detail. Let's go back to her catcher's shin guards here that she probably swiped. Well, they might have been hers. Why not? Shouldn't be a catcher on a baseball team. Okay, let's go here. Can I make the frog a cat? How about next? If everybody enjoys this, I'll do this again next week. We'll do something different, and I promise there'll be a cat involved. How's that? Because I kind of like the frog poking up out of the box. So we got to get our Chuck Taylors in there. All right, let's get the box. It's a little bit in the background here, so her legs can overlap it. And there's the frog. All right, got to have parts of the castle. Should be little creases in it, because, you know, if I was making this, it'd be a mess. Probably glue, maybe some glue running down. So you see, just in a few short minutes, we kind of have a character starting to appear. So everybody's vetoing the frog. Okay. And let's see. So I'd probably do this. The frog. Thank you, Michelle. One person likes the frog. So what I would do now is I'd probably take one of these Copic markers. Let's see, let's do this one. And I use the brush end just to kind of get some value. I work kind of quickly. Again, I'm not really coloring anything in. I'm just trying to get some value in. You know, your darks and your lights. Thanks, Chris. Can you tell your cousin that? Let's see here. So again, I got some value in. It goes a little quick. I'm not sold on her face yet, so now I may start erasing things. Just lighten things up a little bit. needs to be just a little smaller. How about we bring our eyes down just a little bit? So now it's when I really start refining if I like the character. Home, again, we started with a circle, a rectangle, and a triangle, and another circle, 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 triangle, rectangle, rectangle, part of a circle, more rectangles, square. Okay, so let's see if we can't refine this. So now it's when I really start working on the drawing part. Since she's a warrior, maybe she'll. It's never missing a tooth. Why not? Right? Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Take a second to look at the other computer screen. It's all right. We'll keep drawing here for a little bit longer. So now is when I really start getting some tone in. I think her hair should be dark. And I try to have my lines follow the form. And since she's a warrior, her hair is not going to be not going to be too well combed. She doesn't have time for that. She's got battles. And the more you draw on your characters, I think that's when you really get to know them. Their personalities start emerging. And I like freckles. She needs freckles. Freckles are awesome. Maybe just a little bit of tone on her cheek. Yeah, I think she would slay the virus. So again, I'm just always... I don't get focused on one area too much. Oops. And the lid is flying. Let's put some value in the top here. And sometimes I use it's a Tough Stuff eraser to pull out some highlights, maybe to soften some areas. I actually do quite a bit of drawing with the eraser, so you can see what that can do. Okay, let's see what else. work on her shield here. And my pencil strokes are always kind of following the form. Since this is metal, it's going to have a dark spot here, and then it kind of gradates. And I'll have a highlight up here. And she needs a shadow here for some depth. And I do rotate my drawings quite a bit. So when I draw, and I'm heavy-handed, so I'm always breaking lead. There we go. Now this Chuck Taylors are starting to look like Chuck Taylors a little bit. And let's see. So again, in just what? How long have we been drawing this? 25 minutes? We already started having a character. We can see a little bit of her jeans. You need straps from the shin guards. So it'll bunch up here. So let's just make her jeans kind of baggy. And let's see, I'll put a little bit so you can see just a little bit of her jeans over here. It gives a little more visual excitement. Excuse me. Let me go back up. I think that's too light here, so we'll just keep darkening. So everybody needs to post in the comments area their drawings if you were drawing along. So it's mandatory. It's part of your final grade. Any questions? Thanks, Laura. Her hand's a little big. So let's see. It just needs to go. Let's start adding some fingers. See, that's another reason why I don't draw a lot of detail at first, because something may be looking a little large. Always trying to refine as I'm working on the sketch. Let's see, and then let's give this some flair at the bottom here. Yes, it's okay to post something inspired by the session. Go for it, Jason. Jason is an excellent artist, by the way. So everybody should follow him on Facegram. Facegram? Yeah. It must be. And Jason, are you on Instagram as well? Jason's the lead singer of a great punk band called Brom Bones. When I lived in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and was in bands. We played a lot of shows with those guys. Always had a great time. Wonderful group of guys. Are there any other illustrators still on? Recky, are you still on? You might have better things to do, like trying to get Marty Kelly's Subaru. We've been trying to get that car for years. It's a long-running joke between the three of us, so I don't know why I even brought it up. People are like, what are you talking about? Oh, Trace, you have to post your stick figure. So again, I kind of like messy hair. So we're just gonna, some strands just kind of gives it a little more character. And then we'll start adding some tone. I'm drawing on real shiny paper, so usually I like a little more tooth to it so I can kind of make softer edges, but I wasn't paying attention this morning and this is what happens. Okay, let's give her some weight. Drop shadow. There we go. My sister's a great artist. Okay, sis, you have to post your drawing. We'll let everybody decide. Okay, let's work on the frog a little bit. Okay. So that's just kind of a rough sketch. And one last thing I like to do, you probably would spend more time refining this, but I take a black marker. In this case, I'm using a precise V5. And I think Tony Di Terlizzi, did I say that right? Tony's watching. I hope I said your name right. I always mess that up. A little more weight, especially if she's touching something. It kind of adds a little more weight to the drawing, grounds it, I think. Or also do it in the shadow areas. And go up here. And then if I add some to her eyes, they start coming to life a little better. And let's edit. Sharpie. Yes, I do. It's a little too thin. So let's go to wasn't paying attention. I didn't switch those out. Okay, let's try this. So again, the dark areas, like right here, I'd make it a little darker. Around her ear, I try not to outline in black too much. Unless I was going to do a pen and ink drawing, of course. And again. Oops. I mean, that's about as much I would do with her because she's okay. I'd probably throw tracing paper on top and just start working and working and working until I really like her face a bit more and just her body position. I do like this area here, and I like her hair. At this point, I would probably stop and then, again, throw the tracing paper on top of her and keep working and working and working until I get her to where I really liked her. Okay, somebody said draw a cat. All right, I'll do a cat real quick here. All right, here we go, a cat. Okay, cat. If you want to see a great cat, check out David Bedrecki's Sumo Kitty. That's an awesome cat character in that. All right, here we go. So I'll do a cat, try to do this cat in a couple minutes. Oops. Keep breaking the lid. It does look like a scaredy cat. Uh-oh, somebody's at my door. So I'm gonna wrap this up real quick, and there's a dog barking. So there you go, there's a 5-minute cat. How's that? Oh. Have to give it a tail. There you go, 5-minute cat. Everybody happy? Well, thank you so much for hopping on today and following along. I really appreciate it. And if everybody's interested, I'll do this again next Friday, same time. And might be not so much of a lesson. I'll just sit here and draw one of my monsters or robots or something that I like to draw. So again, thank you so much for taking the time today. And I hope, you learned a few things. I hope everybody was drawing. That's important. And, everybody stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you next Friday. All right, take care. Thank you.